WFAA.com. Let's talk about Bob Dole. He says he's over the embarrassment of impotence and now wants to help other men who suffer from the condition. Dole is appearing in a new commercial to talk about his very personal problem. He says he decided to go public because he feels it's important to urge other men to see their doctors.
The impotence affects about 30 million American men, and it's all ages, primarily over 50, but it's very important. They're embarrassed about it. They won't see their doctor. If I have any credibility, maybe I can encourage them.
Dole's impotence was triggered by prostate cancer. He says his new commercial does not endorse the anti-impotence drug Viagra, even though it is an ad for the maker of the drug, Pfizer.
We're going to go live now to some footage from Tarrant County where the procession, the funeral procession for fallen firefighter Philip Dean is underway right now. There you can see the casket of Mr. Dean in the back of that fire truck. There are over 100 fire trucks from literally all over the country. They are headed right now to Mount Olivet Cemetery. By the way, this procession will go past the River Oaks Fire Department, which is where Mr. Dean and his two partners were serving as volunteer firefighters. So this is the first of three very emotional funeral services that will be taking place this week. We'll be back in just a couple minutes. Stay with us, please.
In the next 30 seconds, how many of these images can you remember? How many numbers can you recall? What about dates, times, places, names? Now, what if you could broaden your mind's capacity and remember it all? A News 8 special assignment shows you how. Tonight at 10, only on News 8. Don't forget.
I'm Dutch Atchley, your good neighbor pharmacist in Ojai, California. I get a lot of questions about vitamins and supplements. If I could share one piece of advice, look for a system. Your good neighbor pharmacies have teamed up with Dr. Edward Taub. He's developed Nature's Code, a scientific and balanced approach to wellness. Nature's Code is designed for you.
Good neighbor. I've known Medicare doesn't cover everything, but I didn't want to lose my Medicare. I thought that's what would happen if I joined a Medicare replacement plan.
NileCare 65 presents the facts.
When you become a NileCare 65 member, you never permanently lose your Medicare coverage.
NileCare 65 is just a way of having more choices.
With NileCare 65, you can have more health coverage than regular Medicare alone, including annual physicals.
I never pay a deductible or planned premium, and I could switch from NileCare 65 back to Medicare at any time I wished.
Attend an information meeting to learn more.
I'm happy with NileCare 65, and I'll never go back to Medicare.
Because when you have all the facts, NileCare 65 might be the right choice for you. It was for me. Call today.
It is time now for Getting Personal. Barbara Walters' interview with Monica Lewinsky could happen within a few days. And a top model recovers from alcohol and drug addiction.
But first, a Calvin Klein ad campaign set for release this week has been stopped. The company voluntarily pulled the ads, which feature children in designer underwear, after critics charged that they bordered on child pornography. They were set to be displayed in New York's Times Square this morning. Using sex to sell is nothing new, certainly, for Calvin Klein, and the same type of controversy has erupted before.
Purposefully provocative? The man, in my opinion, has no moral conscience.
And I don't understand why you think that's in your commercial interest to exploit children in that way.
In response, Calvin Klein says it was trying to capture the same spontaneity of a family photo and admits it did not fully consider the issues being raised.
Well, it looks like the interview of the century is finally going to happen. Barbara Walters' interview with Monica Lewinsky could happen as early as this weekend. Lewinsky's lawyers and government prosecutors are working out last-minute details about what the former intern will be able to talk about. And Barbara would also love to talk to Britain's Prince Charles. Several London papers are reporting that Walters has had the media representative for Charles over to her Manhattan home for dinner. We still don't know, though, if she was able to land an interview.
It's all a matter of time. Top international model Kate Moss admits that she is a recovering alcoholic. In an interview with The Face magazine, Moss describes her jet-set lifestyle as being filled with champagne, vodka, and marijuana. She says that, quote, things got out of control, and after 5 weeks in a London clinic specializing in alcohol and drug abuse, she hopes to have put the past behind her. Hard to imagine, but the actress who plays the quirky Phoebe on Friends says she was really uptight while growing up. So much so, Lisa Kudrow told herself that she'd never be an actress because she did not want her children to have a famous mother. Of course, she'll come out of her shell as she did, and she landed in the limelight. Kudrow is now a successful sitcom star, mother, and recent Golden Globe winner. But her husband says Kudrow has her goofy moments as well. You know, actors take on all kinds of characters, certainly, thanks to the magic of makeup and costumes.
But in the new movie, The 24-Hour Woman, Oscar-nominated actress Rosie Perez says playing a woman who's 9 months pregnant, imagine that, I wonder what that's like, was a disturbing experience.
I don't know. I look like baby Huey because I'm so short, you know. You know, like Tweedledee, Tweedledum, just cut off their legs a little bit. That was me, you know, and just round everywhere. And I really started crying when I put on the suit and I came out on set. I just started crying. I was like, oh my God, it was horrible. I am not going to front. I'm not going to say it was a wonderful, beautiful experience. It was horrible.
Now, I'm not going to mention any names, but a friend of mine says her husband said she looked like a sumo wrestler. The 24-Hour Woman opens Friday in local theaters. Roger Clemens wanted to pitch for a contender. Well, today, the Toronto Blue Jays granted Clemens his wish, trading the 5-time Cy Young Award winner to the New York Yankees. In return, the Blue Jays picked up pitcher David Wells, receiver Jeremy Lloyd, and infielder Homer Bush. The Houston Astros were still trying to work out a deal to get Clemens as late as yesterday. Now, here's one way to make a fashion week in New York more appealing.
Miss Chiquita, her new look.
I want to know who the two guys are. Miss Chiquita Banana debuted her new costume on the runway yesterday. She's now wearing a blue and yellow dress instead of the original red and yellow number. The makeover was in honor of the company's anniversary, 100 years after the Banana Company merged with a railroad company. And that ends another colorful edition of Getting Personal for this Tuesday.
Well, Oprah is playing matchmaker in the Bahamas today. The winners of this week's Sexiest Men contest are guests of Oprah's Island dating game. Plus a behind-the-scenes look at the shooting of Sports Illustrated swimsuit issue and lesson number 4 of Billy Blank's tie bow workout. It's all at 4 o'clock on Oprah right here on Channel 8.
Now, Christine, I don't know about you, but it's kind of depressing to see women in bikinis who have real flat stomachs right now.
I don't think I'm going to be watching Oprah today. That's the last thing I want to see is a flat stomach.
Something about that just makes me really depressed. I don't know what it is.
You know, it's interesting. Not everybody realizes, though. I've had people stop me the past couple of days. Is Christine pregnant?
Yeah.
You know, is Gina pregnant? And yes, the answer is yes. Absolutely.
We really are.
We've got someone else in the studio that is too, and she'll be on air with us in a moment.
Oh, that's right. Yes, she will.
Janet.
Well, it has been gorgeous weather. Your forecast has been very familiar. If we could just get some rain in it, would be great.
And unfortunately, I just can't bring that to our forecast anytime soon. I wish I could, but I know I just can't make the weather. Just try and predict it, and there is no rain in our forecast, at least through Monday, folks. So if you've got some dry grass, dry flowers in your yard, water them, because you're going to need to, at least for the next week. We may be looking at the possibility of some weather pattern changes maybe toward the end of next week, but that's a big maybe at this point. 65 at DFW, very mild out there, even in the wake of a cool front that passed through the area this morning. Winds are out of the north, and they're quite gusty, actually, and they're going to remain so throughout much of the afternoon, and even through tonight, I think. So tonight, lows should be in the upper 30s, and then tomorrow, winds will become light and variable. And with plenty of sun, as you can see, we're kind of between storm systems here. Even tomorrow should be a fabulous day. This next system is pulling into the Pacific Northwest, but like all the systems this past week that have been moving through this region, they tend to lose their punch once they cross through the Cascades and into the Rockies. So even though this is quite a system now, by the time it moves closer to Texas, the front associated with it will come through our area dry and just kind of reinforce us with some cooler weather for the weekend. But highs today, 70s for parts of at least the majority of Texas with a few 80s along the Rio Grande and 60s in the Panhandle. Here's your forecast today, more in detail. Upper 60s, around 70 today for a high and a gusty north wind. For tonight, expect a low around 39 degrees. And the sky should be clear. So it's beautiful. People who work outdoors have to just love this weather because it could be icy and cold this time of year, or windy and cold, or windy and cloudy, or anything but what we have now. So
you've got to come up with one more thing.
Oh gosh.
You went blank, so you can't remember.
I did. I went blank.
All right.
Caught
Thanks,
me.
Christine. Still ahead, if you're having trouble remembering, hint Christine, the most common things you might suffer from information overload. A preview of a News 8 special assignment coming up.
Plus, saying goodbye to a North Texas movie theater, a theater with an awful lot of history.
Hey, boy, wanna go for a little walk? Get a little exercise.
Again?
Hi, Steve.
Hi, Mrs. Wilson.
I didn't expect to see you this morning.
Yeah, right. You call this exercise?
Hey.
This is getting my heart rate up.
Oh, yeah, he loves these walks. Don't you, boy?
Sure. Good cardio.
Feel better?
Way better.
Now it's my turn.
Now that's a workout. Hey, Steve. Come on, boy. Want to go for a walk? Get real. Get a treadmill.
See all the latest Proform treadmills at www.proform.com.
We're now able to confirm earlier reports that a monsoon is rapidly approaching the Dallas-Fort Worth area. With more on this story, let's go live to the eye of the storm.
Get a Regal now and we'll throw in a monsoon audio system.
Folks, your Colonel's shaking things up with my new extra crispy chicken. I double dip and double bread it so it's double crunchy. It's new and whew, tie down the furniture. Right now, get 8 pieces plus 6 of my honey barbecue wings, just $9.99. That price ain't gonna last, so shake a leg. Hold on, I said just a leg. At KFC, we do chicken right. And it's right crunchy, too.
Leather sale. Luxurious leather furniture that's as soft as a... well, you know.
Well, if you've ever forgotten what you were saying in the middle of a sentence, misplaced your eyeglasses, or forgotten your own wedding anniversary, this story's for you.
Memory lapse is a problem that affects nearly everyone. Channel 8's what's her name?
Janet St. James.
That's right. Janet St. James has been checking into the phenomenon, and she joins us now with a preview of her special assignment.
Well, you know, we've often heard about memory loss related to Alzheimer's or amnesia, menopause, even pregnancy, but Gina and Christine, you all have only a few months that you can use this as an excuse. But what about people who don't have one of those conditions? Even some researchers nowadays believe today's fast-paced, information-overloaded world is responsible for some memory lapse. So we conducted a little experiment to see if science is right.
If you've ever crammed for a test, you know the feeling. 2 days after this Spanish exam, we returned for a little test of our own. We asked a few of these UTA students some of the same questions they got correct on the test.
Los blanks enseñan las clases.
Would they remember the correct answers?
That was just like things that you...
Find out the answer tonight at 10, and we'll also give you some medical explanations for why you might be having trouble remembering things you never thought you'd forget. And let me ask you this, Todd, are you good at directions?
Pretty good with directions, yeah.
Pretty good. Need a map?
A map is helpful, but for the most part, I have pretty good memory with that.
Gina?
I'm terrible with directions. I mean, I have to have landmarks. You have to tell me, look for, like, the tree or something like that.
There is a medical explanation behind that, and we'll tell you what that is tonight at 10. Believe it or not, there's a whole bunch of interesting stuff.
So am I normal? Am I normal, or is he abnormal?
Well, as far as that's concerned, yes, Gina.
Where are we going with this?
I was just checking.
Yeah.
There's a difference between men and women, right?
There is a difference between men and women, and it's medical. So, so when you get in the argument in the car, you know that there's a reason behind it.
Now, do we have an explanation why guys won't ask for directions? Do you know about that?
Sorry, can't help you there.
Now, here's a quiz. Which one of us is not pregnant here this morning? Yeah. Holy cow.
All right, thank you very much, Janet. Look forward to your report tonight at 10. It really is curtains for one Dallas area landmark movie theater.
The Astro Drive-In was a longtime favorite for local moviegoers, but today that favorite is gone. Channel 8's John Pronk has the story.
The Astro Drive-In movie theater was truly an Oak Cliff landmark. It opened in 1968. It closed last November, and this day it ceased to exist.
This is real sad to see this theater go. I think someday it'll come back and it'll be a real big novelty, but right now it's just the land is worth more than the activity with the theater.
It's something that I and so many others in the area grew up with. It's gone for good. I think it's a part of history. You know, I've talked to young kids these days who never even heard of what a drive-in theater was.
A drive-in theater was just that. You drove in, sat in your car, and watched a movie. The 3-screen Astro was one of the largest drive-ins when it opened. Who knows how many blind dates, first kisses, and family station wagons full of kids occupied these rows in a 30-year run.
The drive-in, you kind of had total freedom where you could get out and walk around and meet people and talk to them and just have a good time.
Don Sanders is a Dallas author who has written a book devoted to the great American drive-in theater. He was one of several fans of the Astro who came to watch the theater's demise. Eventually, TV, video rentals, and huge indoor megaplex theaters helped do in the drive-ins. The Astro proprietor says business was good until a devastating fire in the snack bar last year closed the theater forever. The operator couldn't afford to rebuild, and the landowner wanted it turned back into a vacant lot for the time being. There are now less than a dozen Texas drive-ins, and one of the greatest is gone. Many of the movies we saw here might be forgettable, but not the theater. John Pronk, Channel 8 News, Oak Cliff.
Another piece of history is gone. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
The days of wearing bulky protective undergarments are over, all because of a revolutionary new product from Depend. Introducing disposable protective underwear. It combines a discreet, sure fit with a built-in super absorbent panel. It's the closest thing to regular underwear you can buy. So slim fitting, all that shows is your confidence. It's your life. Live it the way you want. New Depend protective underwear.
Get all you want out of life with Depend.
It's our annual main event sales event through the end of February right here at Regency, Lincoln Mercury, Dallas. New 99 Cougars, $0 down, only $2.95 a month. New 99 Grand Marquis, only $19,950, and 99 Town Cars save $8, $9, even $10,000. So come on in right now and take advantage of big savings during our main event sale. Regency, Lincoln Mercury, East Northwest Highway between Jupiter and Garland Road. We sell luxury for less.
In the 11th century, the Spanish king commands the presence of his court. The thundering hooves of the Andalusian stallions signal the ultimate test of courage. Who will be victorious? You are invited to participate in this courageous tournament of bravery and skill. The wonder, the drama, the sumptuous feast. Is this a vision of the 11th century or a fantasy come alive? Medieval time, dinner and tournament.
When your allergies are a nightmare, you need fast relief. You need the power of Zyrtec. Prescription Zyrtec starts working fast and lasts 24 hours. So when allergies are a nightmare, remember the power of Zyrtec. In studies, drowsiness was the most common side effect. Other side effects included fatigue and dry mouth. Most were mild or moderate. To learn more, ask your doctor or pharmacist.
Welcome back. Turning to technology, imagine this. A new, faster computer chip is now available to consumers. Intel unveiled the 550 megahertz Pentium 3 in California yesterday. The company says the chip will allow for more realistic games, better speech recognition, and more TV-like video. However, the promised benefits only come with new programs designed to take advantage of the Pentium 3's speed and efficiency.
The Coast Guard is racing against the clock to remove some of the oil from that ship grounded off the coast of Oregon.
They're flying in special pumps to try to do the job. Then once the weather clears, they plan to tow the cargo ship to deep water and then sink it.
That's after other plans have failed. ABC's Judy Muller has more on the environmental problem that just won't go away.
When the Coast Guard set fire to the grounded freighter New Carissa, they hoped most of the 400,000 gallons of oil aboard would burn off. But when inspectors boarded the charred wreckage this week, they discovered almost half that amount was still in the forward section of the ship, which had broken off from the stern. So they have embarked on a new plan.
It's maybe not a perfect solution, but the perfect solution would be not to have had this incident happen to start with.
A high-powered tugboat has been brought in to tow the broken bow 200 miles out to sea. That will take about 4 days. They will then sink the ship in 6,000 feet of water. As long as the ship has been grounded in Coos Bay, it has represented a major threat to the area's pristine beaches and wildlife. Environmental groups say freighters like the New Carissa are unsafe because they were not built to be oil tankers. Even oil tankers, they say, are a threat.
The crux of the problem is that virtually none of the vessels that we have operating in U.S. waters are very safe to carry oil. After the Exxon Valdez spill, we were promised that we would get double-hulled tankers. We still do not have double-hulled tankers.
The captain of the New Carissa will explain how his ship ran aground when a board of inquiry meets next week. Meanwhile, the cleanup operation is expected to cost millions of dollars. I'm Judy Muller in Los Angeles.
And we'll be back in just a moment.
If you could change the look of your floor right now, how would you do it? New carpet? A different texture? Different color? How about a Saxony or a cable? Maybe even go with hardwoods or a laminate. With thousands of flooring options in countless styles and colors. If you can dream it, you can do it at the Home Depot, where low prices are just the beginning.
Do colors seem duller? If you have cataracts, colors look like this. After cataract surgery, colors are bright again.
At the Key Whitman Eye Center, you don't have to worry about cost or transportation. Depending on your insurance, it may cost you nothing.
Curious about No Stitch? We have Dallas and Plano offices. Call 214-754-0000. And yes, we still have the limo.
I'm going to be late for work.
Step out of the car, please. Looks like you folks need a little lesson in slowing down. Here, have some International Delight French vanilla. Enjoy the moment. Mornings are precious. Treasure them. Find some me time and make the most of it.
Put a little delight in your morning with International Delight Non-Dairy Creamer.
Ah, the French. What they do with vanilla is magical.
At Don Pablo's, we're Chicken Grande. Just try one of our 16 tasty chicken dishes. Each one is made with plump chicken breasts, sautéed or double marinated for more tenderness, and mesquite grilled for more flavor than you've ever had before. So if you like it grilled, stuffed, topped, or wrapped, head to Don Pablo's today, where we do chicken on a grand scale. Don Pablo's, the real enchilada.
Well, more fabulous weather ahead for us. Other parts of the country, though, well, weather's not so great. And we'll show you those in just a moment. First, let's show you current conditions at DFW right now. Clear, 65 degrees, just absolutely beautiful, crystal clear blue skies, and a pretty strong northwest wind at about 14 miles per hour. And this wind will be gusty on and off through the rest of the afternoon, probably even into tonight, and begin its switch around to the south starting tomorrow afternoon. Humidity 40%, the air very dry in the wake of this last front, and because we didn't have much moisture for it to work with in the first place, no rain. The low this morning officially 46 degrees, 60 and 38 the normal high and low for this day of February, and 85 and 10 the record high and record low for this date. Now, the pollen count, much lower than we've seen it in a while. 229 is the total. Fungus at 175, elm at 31, mountain cedar at 23, and do expect elm and mountain cedar to peak within the next month or so. But we're already beginning to see these as newcomers to the pollen count in the last month, about a month earlier than they should be. So really we shouldn't be seeing these until March. Not this year. Let's show you the satellite imagery. A lot of high clouds spread through the area late last night, but they cleared out since then. Well, all of Texas has cleared out. And even though we have a front moving through the area, there's no moisture really for it to work with. A few clouds along the Texas coast, but really nothing significant. All the rain focused to our northeast with a disturbance that will rapidly push into the Ohio Valley a little bit later on this afternoon. Now, a lot of rain swirling around this upper level low, and some of this turning over to snow where it's cold enough through northern parts of Missouri and Iowa. So this is where the snow rain line will be today, as temperatures just barely cold enough for some icy weather there. Farther south you go, the warmer it is, all changes to rain. Up and down the East Coast, a lot of rain. But this is all just rain. No snow for even parts of New England today, where temperatures are warm enough. Now, storm after storm will continue to plow into the West Coast, and they'll weaken as they move into the Central Plain states. So the next front, which will be moving through here Saturday, will not have any moisture with it. So no rain with this one, just another wind switch come Saturday and some slightly cooler weather as we tap into some cooler air out of Canada this time rather than straight Pacific air. So the 5-day outlook. 70 today and sunny with fair skies tonight. Expect lows in the upper 30s. Some of you may see temperatures a little bit cooler. Depends on how strong the winds stay overnight. If they stay pretty strong, we won't cool off as much. Now, Friday, highs around 67, and then we're in the 50s through the weekend. So even then, that's normal for this time of year. No extremes.
All right.
Anytime soon.
Thank you very much, Christine.
Well, coming up, a tail wagger with a very versatile personality. One moment she's shy, and the next she's very playful.
But she certainly is pretty. Meet this exotic dog when we come back.
The new 1999 Pontiac Grand Am is better than ever. Grand Am for $99 is built solid. Get behind the wheel of a new Grand Am with 0 down payment with a GMAC Smart Buy. Or with a GMAC Smart Buy, only $1,300 down at $99. Grand Am SE Coupe's just $189 a month for 47 months with an optional final payment of $84.33. Or get low 2.9% APR GMAC financing on any 99 Grand Am.
Pontiac driving excitement.
At your North Texas Pontiac dealers.
After 30 years of football, I'm a pain expert. Arthritis pain, back pain, so I'm also an expert on Flexol.
Aloe vera-based Flexol, strong medicine that penetrates deep for fast, more effective pain relief.
It works.
Flexol, the strong medicine pain experts recommend.
Your life is non-stop. That's why you need BAN, the revolutionary BAN Clear Soft Solid with the advanced shape-to-fit applicator that leaves no messy white stuff. BAN Clear Soft Solid, made to work non-stop, just like you. BAN, clearly advanced protection all day long.
Imagine doing this without these. Imagine doing this without these. Imagine vision correction with LASIK, an outpatient procedure that could clearly change your life forever. Call 214-328-0444 to see if you're a candidate for this exciting procedure. Call the Booth Eye Care and Laser Center.
Hey, guess what, guys? We're on the road again.
That's right. Fort Worth, here we come. Good Morning, Texas will be live from the Home and Garden Show at the Tarrant County Convention Center.
Dottie Woodson will be there with us, getting our spring blooms in order.
We're going to check out the latest in the Chicken Soup series, Chicken Soup for the Couple's Soul with Barbara DeAngelis.
And we'll wrap up Women's Health Week by helping all of us take care of our aching feet.
Plus, we're going to walk on the wild side with some exotic animals. It's all tomorrow at 9 when we're live from the Home and Garden Show in Fort Worth at the Convention Center.
Updating our top story at this hour, hundreds of firefighters from North Texas and around the country are saying their final goodbye to a fallen friend. Right now, you're looking at a live picture of the procession as it takes the casket of Philip Dean, who died on Monday while fighting a church fire in Lake Worth. They're taking him from Birchman Baptist Church to Mount Olivet Cemetery. Of course, we are following this story, and we'll have more reports for you beginning at 5 o'clock, 6, and on the update tonight at 10.
And now here's Jeanette Smith with a look at what's coming up tomorrow on Good Morning Texas.
Thanks, Todd. Well, we're hitting the road and heading to the Home and Garden Show in Fort Worth. Also, we'll wrap up Women's Health Week by talking about your aching feet. Find out why the shoes you're wearing could be the culprit. Plus, listen up, couples. We've got some chicken soup for your relationship. That's tomorrow at 9 on Good Morning Texas.
And finally today we bring you a beautiful tail wagger from the SPCA of Texas.
As always, Warren Cox is here to tell us all about her, and we welcome Warren back. Well, who's your friend, Warren?
Well, this is Vera. She's about 5-year-old, and we call her an American Eskimo Spitz, but a lot of times we just call them a Spitz. This is a neat, very neat dog. We kind of determined that she's probably deaf.
Oh,
and,
really?
She's been sitting there down at the SPCA for about the past month, and I think part of the reason that maybe because people don't see her very active, but when you get her out and she gets in, dealing with one of us one-on-one, she is the most lovable dog, and she will make a great pet for somebody. And just we all have handicaps.
I would have never known she couldn't hear.
Well, we didn't know it either until I got to really talking to her, and she looking away from me, and we've determined she can't hear. If she can hear, it's not very much. But she'll still make a great pet, and one problem we do have with her, and that has nothing to do with the handicap, and that's called shedding.
Yeah, she has a very thick coat. Well, she's probably shedding because she's so warm.
Well, yeah, it's really warm out there now, and I hope that we keep the weather coming that direction. But we have to remember to groom them out, too.
She seems very friendly. Now,
she is so docile, so great. She's going to make somebody a great couch potato, I think, for somebody.
What's the background on her? Do we know why someone brought her in?
You know, I don't know, and it probably, for many cases, because they were moving. Some of the most terrible reasons in the world that have nothing to do with the dog.
Now, Warren, you've got a special event coming up, I know.
Yeah, we're going to have a big, another one of our fundraisers, and it's called the Bow Wow, or I always call it the Bow Wow. It's Bow Meow. And I always have to get it straight because
that's equal time now. Dogs
I know,
and cats, Warren.
And that's what bothers me. We had to change it. It's coming up on Saturday. I never say it right. Saturday, the March 6th at 11 o'clock, and great. Guess who the host is going to be? It's going to be Christine. It's going to be out there. It's going to be at Stonebriar Country Club, and it'll be starting at 11 o'clock on Saturday. And the tickets are now available. They're $50. It all goes to help with these little guys. And if they need a ticket, because there's only 200 chairs available out there, so they need to call 1-800-ANIMALS, and they can be able to find that out.
Wonderful. Once again, my memory's going because I'm pregnant. What's the dog's name again? I'm sorry.
Her name is Vera, but I'm not sure why we even have a name for her.
And Vera is a Spitz.
Yeah, Spitz.
Right. Hopefully we can get Vera a good home. Thanks so much for joining us. We'll see you back here tomorrow.
Have a wonderful day, everybody.
Thank you, Warren. Okay, bye-bye.
TXCN, Texas Cable News, is now available on TCI and Marcus Cable.